Hello, Instagram and eventually Facebook and maybe YouTube, wherever else I put this up. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm out in Colorado. Last time I came out on here for the Insta, I think we got it there, right? So I was talking to you from Florida last time, and now I'm out at the Western headquarters at the remote Personal Defense Network studio. I got the smart screen up here. I know it's reversed. We're going to take a better look at that in a second. But first, I wanted to kind of give you a minute to get here. For those who are watching live, I'll answer any questions. I see a lot of people starting to pop up. So if there's any questions you got, throw them into the comments. Answer them if I can. We have the Second Amendment rally at 2 weeks from now. There's a 2-hour time change between here and Washington, D.C. So 2 weeks from now, I will be standing with thousands of other American gun owners on the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol. And we're going to talk about the other speakers that are confirmed and announced. Obviously, a lot of people are supporting the event all over the internet, which we really appreciate. All over social media, gun shops. There's a lot of competitions and gun shows going on this weekend where I know people are passing out flyers or talking about being at the Second Amendment rally, especially in the Mid-Atlantic. So if you're in Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, West Virginia, obviously Washington, D.C., New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, maybe even South Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, as I said, it's probably not too far. New York State, there's some places certainly within driving distances. So we figure anything that's less than a 6-hour drive, you can get up in the morning and make it to the rally. And of course, if you come in early, we posted a deal, $89 for a Hyatt Place hotel in Herndon. The code is up on the Facebook page and Instagram and everywhere else. If you look at To A Rally here on Instagram or on the Facebook page for Second Amendment Rally is the event, and Rally for Your 2A Rights is the page. We're going to talk about the speakers. Most of the speakers, if not all of them, that I'm going to talk about here in a minute, have also put things in their social media, possibly including links at least back to the website and things like that. The website is secondamendmentrally.com, and you can learn about that $89 deal for a hotel room. It's in Herndon, Virginia, which is where Dulles Airport is. Dulles Airport is on the metro line. You have to maybe bargain for about 45 minutes to an hour on the train each way. But if you're trying to do this inexpensively and easily, that's kind of a turnkey deal. They'll pick you up at the airport, or they'll put you up there and at the Hyatt when you pull in, and then you'll be able to get a shuttle to the metro station. Of course, a free shuttle back and forth. There's a breakfast included, so that's cool. Year of the Con, 30 miles outside of D.C., which, honestly, a lot of people want to stay outside of the Beltway. Obviously, there are people who are concerned about coming into and traveling with a firearm that don't want to take that firearm into D.C. We've kind of talked about the not being able to be armed at the rally ad nauseum. So having a place to secure that, quick access safe or something like that you can secure in a location in Virginia, maybe not a bad idea for a lot of people who are going to be driving in especially. So that's that. We do have 26 speakers, and a lot of people have started to do the math, and they've said, well, wait a minute, 3 hours, that's not a lot of time. Well, all of these speeches are going to be very quick, right? So it's not going to be a history lesson on the Second Amendment. Not a lot of people go up there and going over their resumes or their biographies or touting their organizations or the work that they've done in the past. People are going to be talking about a really short, quick, here's what I think is important. Here's what the message that I have, or the perspective that me and my audience and my organization have. And here's what we think you should do as leaders, as grassroots activists, as people who care about our Second Amendment rights and are wanting to do something about it before we lose more, trying to help us regain our rights and celebrate our rights. So I'm going to say what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around. And in turning it around, I don't think I'm going to lose anybody here. So I'll turn it around. There we go. And let's talk about this. So Ken Blanchard, black man with a gun. He does a podcast. He's been an activist. He's actually in Washington, D.C. By the way, this is not any particular order. This is literally just like as random an order as could be made. There's nothing here about obviously importance. It's not alphabetical. It's not the speaking order. It's just an order. Ken Blanchard happens to be local, though. He even in his promo video said, come see my hometown. And Washington, D.C. is his hometown. I was first on his podcast. I don't know. We were trying to figure it out. Maybe 2006 or 7, something like that. So it's been quite a while he's been in this game. Gabby Franco, competitive shooter. She was in Top Shot, I think season 4 with Chris Cheng. We'll talk about him in a minute. She is a world-renowned advocate. She's an instructor. She comes from a place where people realize the value of their Second Amendment rights, their gun rights and their right to personal defense, and how important it can be when things go really bad. She actually is from Venezuela. Cheryl Todd is from out in Arizona, Gun Freedom Radio. I'm not even going to try to say it as awesomely as she does, but she'll be there, and I'm sure she will say Gun Freedom Radio in her her way, as well as a whole bunch of other cool stuff. She's got a ton of energy and a whole bunch of enthusiasm and insight for the grassroots activists. She's very, very busy out there with the DC project in DC. She's very busy out in Arizona, so she's literally nationwide. Matt LaRosiere, I'm going to guess that's how he wants that pronounced. I always get it wrong, but LaRosiere sounds right. Firearms Policy Coalition. He is one of the legal minds, kind of one of the cutting edge new legal minds on the gun issue, and he works with Firearms Policy Coalition. He'll be there speaking, a very good speaker, very intelligent guy. And Maj Toure, another intelligent guy. Maj is actually running for city council in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, and his election is on that Tuesday after the rally, but he's going to come into town with us. He's going to spend some time with us there on Saturday and share his message. Of course, he's the founder and organizer of Black Guns Matter, very articulate and passionate advocate for Second Amendment. This guy, you know him, Second Amendment organization. One of my big things has been grassroots, right? That we have to stand up and we have to be the gun lobby. We can't rely on any organization, one that I'm affiliated with or otherwise. And that's really important to me, is that people are coming to this event and they're going to leave better educated to be articulate and responsible Second Amendment advocates in their own way as a grassroots effort. Jeff Knox, of course, is second generation gun rights advocacy. His father, Neil Knox, is very well known in these circles for the work that he did to try to make the NRA as strong and as good as it possibly could have been during a very tumultuous era. He runs the Firearms Coalition. He's an encyclopedia of gun rights knowledge and the fight about the gun rights, the history. He will be speaking with us. He's also, he and I are both part of the organizing committee also. A lot has been made of the fact that this is being run anonymously, and it's certainly being funded anonymously. A couple people, had to step out of the shadows a little bit, I guess, just to kind of recruit all these other people and get some organization done, talk to the media. So Jeff and I represent the organizing committee, but there are several people, concerned American gun owners, who are behind this, supporting this, making things happen, like the website and the facilities operations and things like that. Anthony Calandro, he's currently a board member of the NRA. He is on a 76th seat, so he'll be running again this coming year. And he runs Gun for Hire, and he, in his way, has done more in New Jersey than I think anybody since Evan Nappen that I'm aware of, just as a single human being that I associate with gun rights. Of course, I'm from New Jersey, and there's a hard fight being fought there, and he runs a great organization there, Gun for Hire. He's a very passionate speaker also. I think one of the things you'll find is that there aren't very many wallflowers on this list. A lot of these people are very passionate and will be very animated and exciting to listen to. Eric Blanford, Iraq veteran 8888, he is running his own huge event down there with a lot of the social media heroes and people with huge audiences and following and media and quote-unquote influencers down in Georgia today. But he's going to recover from that and join us up there on the stage. Again, his experiences in law enforcement, his experience as a lifelong gun owner, really important to this conversation. Craig DeLuz, Coffee with Craig in the morning. You may have seen that show. In fact, I'm going to be on that show coming up this coming week. We'll be talking about the rally and some other related items to this list of speakers that's there. Again, with Firearms Policy Coalition. Diana Muller, known her for a long time in this community. She is a very well known and very well respected competitive shooter, but really taking a turn over the last few years to become one of the most passionate and well known advocates for our gun rights. And she is the founder of the DC Project. She is the hashtag doing something. She wants to remind everybody that the gun community is doing a lot to try to save lives and be responsible, and it's important that that message gets out. So she'll be there. Jonathan Patton, the Gun Collective. One of I guess at this point he's not really one of the new guys on the block, but he has done a lot to organize a lot of the YouTubers, panels, live panels, presentations at NRA annual meeting. He's known for just a great outreach, great message. Runs the Gun Collective. Of course, that's been the home of a lot of the messaging from Adam Kraut, also, who's a very well regarded lawyer on the firearms community side and very well known advocate. Mike Sedini, a good friend of mine and partner. I am on the board of Walk the Talk America. He is the founder of Walk the Talk America, and he's been doing a lot of great advocacy work at the intersection of firearms and mental health issues. Chris Chang, winner of Top Shot Season 4. He's been a great advocate. He's written a book. In fact, his book is right there. Shoot to Win. That's his book. He's written that book. He worked with Bass Pro for a while, and he's been a great speaker on behalf of a lot of people that just don't generally come into the gun community. So both from the LGBTQ, you know what I mean, the alternative lifestyle group. He's also a Californian, which makes him really important. There's a couple of Californians on this list. Craig's also coming out from California. Really important to have him out there. And Chris is just a great guy and a great speaker. Josh Prince, very passionate advocate, also Firearms Industry Consulting Group, and again, one of the most active and educated lawyers. He's been doing a lot with the fight in Pennsylvania, which if you're not familiar with the fight that's going on in Pennsylvania right now, that's Joshua Prince's home state. It's very important because it speaks to preemption and the fact that the cities cannot put their own laws into place once the states have said, here's your limit. That's also an important question on the national level as well. Once we start establishing national laws in our favor again, which the Second Amendment is supposed to be, right? A law in our favor, protecting our rights from infringement. Once that gets back to normal, that preemption issue is going to be really important. Eric Pratt, the director of Gun Owners of America, Gun Owners of America, one of the largest organizations in the space. Of course, the fact is that you'll notice that we've got a lot of different organizations, right? So GOA's there, Firearms Coalition there, 2AO's there. I mentioned Anthony Calandro is a board member of the NRA. Guns for Everyone, we're going to get to Walk Talk America, Firearms Policy Coalition. There's a lot of different organizations here. And again, what's important is none of these organizations are sponsoring the event per se. All of the funding is anonymous, but Eric's coming in to speak on behalf of all American gun owners and the organization Gun Owners of America. Kevin Dixie, no other choice, training and aiming for the truth. He is a social justice kind of counter message. I think he's the guy that's talking about accountability. He's talking about education. He's talking about knowledge and the truth of a lot of the important issues that are facing all Americans, and especially in the inner city. So Kevin's doing a lot of great work, obviously very involved in the firearms community and training as well. Amy Dillon, Legacy Defense, veteran, the most unlikely drill sergeant you'll ever meet, you'll ever see. She's a great speaker. She's also part of the DC project. She'll be joining us. Carrie Sloan, We the Female. She is a very passionate. Check her out online. She does a lot of Instagram live stuff. She does a lot of impromptu stuff. She was very assertive, I guess, in an opportunity to deal with one of the Democratic presidential candidates and talk to them about the importance of understanding how red flag laws can negatively affect domestic violence victims. And she is a great passionate advocate for gun rights, especially from the female side. So she will be there. Cam Edwards, one of the longest running, most established guys in the media of the gun rights world and gun news in general. Cam and Company is a great show that has been around for a long time. Its new home is Bearing Arms. He's now the editor of Bearing Arms. It's great to see Bearing Arms growing again in its influence and its presence in the gun community, and Cam has found a great new home there. Looking forward to have him speak. Tim Harmson, Military Arms Channel. He just went through one of those little unexplained, quote unquote censorship. It's a private entity. We know that, all the social media, but he did have his Military Arms Channel shut down on Instagram last week, and there was a great grassroots uprising from our community challenging Instagram on that, and lo and behold, his channel came back. Went away without explanation. It came back without explanation, but at least it's back. Very outspoken guy and very much a grassroots kind of guy. The guy who says, don't trust any organization, trust yourself. I'm looking forward to his message as well. Obviously that goes for everybody here. Todd Fosse, he's one of the most articulate and educated defensive firearms instructors and personal defense instructors in the space right now. So Integrative Defensive Strategies is his company. He's a contributor to Personal Defense Network. He's really been influencing a lot of other instructors as well in terms of their approach to defense. And it's important that we're not just talking about the politics and the policies or the idea of resisting a tyrannical government, but there's the personal defense angle that is so important to the gun culture 2.0, the current new gun owner for the last couple of decades, right in that defensive training space. So it's important that gets represented also. Edgar Entelon, he's Guns for Everyone. This guy is probably trained more people, certainly I think in Colorado, if not more people across the country than anyone else I know, for free. Guns for Everyone puts on a lot of great training opportunities. They also put on a lot of good grassroots advocacy opportunities. Right here in Denver, he hosts a monthly get-together for people in the gun community to talk about the issues and just have fun talking about guns as well. So he's a great grassroots guy. Alexander Rubian, New Jersey Second Amendment Society. We got a couple guys here from Jersey. Again, Jersey and California and New York. Washington, D.C., for that matter, these places where your rights are the most infringed, our rights are the most infringed. It's important to have people talk about sort of what's coming if we don't take the kind of action we need to at the voting booth, particularly. Timothy Knight, Second Amendment grassroots activist, and he also has a new podcast out called To the Republic, and he's just that. He's just that. He is one of the most active guys in terms of grassroots motivation that I know. He really knows how to make the average person as powerful as possible. He and Anthony Garcia, the next guy up on the list, were both instrumental in what I believe are the only Second Amendment related recalls at the state level of government that have ever happened. They successfully removed a few people from state government here in Colorado after the sort of knee-jerk reaction restrictions that were put in place after the Sandy Hook massacre. So that kind of covers Timothy Knight and gets us into Anthony Garcia, who is also one of the two founders of Save the Second, another organization that I serve on the board of, very active in this messaging of, these organizations that represent us, particularly in that case, the NRA, are accountable to us, 100 million American gun owners. So that's kind of a quick rundown. I don't know how quick that was, but it's a rundown anyway on who the speakers are from my point of view. All of them have spoken at one level or another about their involvement in 2A rally, in the Second Amendment rally on November 2nd. So check out their social media, check out their websites, check out their organizations, and see what's being said, see why they're coming. Some people were asking, or someone specifically asked today, on social media, why they couldn't find like a clear mission statement from the Second Amendment rally, why there wasn't one clear mission statement, like this is what we hope to achieve. Well, to be honest, it's because it's a grassroots kind of thing, right? It's for the people, by the people. So what's happening is I can't tell you why almost everyone on that list is coming, because it's their own thing, right? They have their own idea about why they're going to be there. And that idea is probably very important to them. And I would say go ask them, why are they supporting it? Because again, with a decentralized approach to fighting for our gun rights, we are much harder to caricaturize, to demonize, to marginalize, all the bad eyes that the gun grabbers want to do, the anti-gunners want to do. It's much harder to do that when we are the diverse in perspective, in lifestyle, in appearance, in gender, in creed, in belief, in everything. I mean, you talk about it, educational background, employment background, what we like about guns, why we believe our Second Amendment rights are incredibly important. We all feel very differently about that. So whenever the gun grabbers, the anti-gunners try to say, well, this is what they think, one of the things that should come out of the Second Amendment rally is that they is awful hard to pin down, because it's a third of our country. It's over 100 million American gun owners and our families. And that means that it's a very large voting bloc, and it's a very diverse group of perspectives. So the one unifying thing about the Second Amendment rally that I can assure you for everyone involved, that I know in the background and in the foreground and that we speaking, everyone believes staunchly in the Second Amendment as protecting the individual right to keep and bear arms in the United States, and that we need to get back a lot closer to the pure, if not 100%, get rid of all the gun laws, obviously, would be great. Whether we can do that or not realistically in the short term, I don't know. We've made a lot of ground over the last 30 years on concealed carry. 30 years ago, there were 13 or so states that you couldn't get a concealed carry permit in, period. We're not even talking like New Jersey, where it's impossible for practical purposes, but it was actually not even an option in 13 states. And today we have more states than that with constitutional carry. So we have seen momentum in our direction. We need to maintain that, push that, make it happen faster, get rid of NFA, or at least get the Hearing Protection Act type thing in there. We need some kind of form of reciprocity with a right to carry, national right to carry. If you have a driver's license, you can drive in another state. If you have a concealed carry permit, or you can legally carry in your state, if you have constitutional carry, which we all should have, then we can carry across the country. So really what we're looking for is national constitutional carry on that front. Obviously, the abuses that are there with the red flag laws and no due process, no timeline for the restoration of rights, all the problems we're seeing around the red flag laws and ERPOs, all these things are things that I think that most people would agree on this list how they should be handled. But what's important is that fundamentally, everyone on that list believes the Second Amendment protects our individual right to keep and bear arms. We're leaving everything else at the Beltway when we go in there, and we're going to be talking about guns and gun issues only. Nonpartisan grassroots event. Hope to see you there November 2nd, 2019, starting formally at 1 p.m., but you might want to get there early because there may be some people taking the stage to get everybody warmed up. Thanks.